I think packaging should be synonymous with sustainability. So much on the news about plastic waste. Everybody is trying to put a green stamp on something, but I think that there is a tremendous amount of improvements to be made. This industry needs a reform.
It's never been more important for everyone to start learning, making changes, and becoming more responsible. At Rootree, sustainability describes more than just our packaging. It's the way we work, the way we live, and everything we do.
We are at heart farmers, so we grow microgreens. We are all nutritionists, so we also have a family restaurant. If we are going to truly stand for sustainability, then we feel that everybody's health should be elevated.
With such a strong foundation and partnership with HP Indigo, I believe that we have the ultimate recipe for what packaging is going to be in the future. Rootree's use HP Indigo 20,000 digital printing press to really help us grow our sustainable packaging business. There is just this vast number of tools made available to us to create outstanding print and therefore outstanding packaging. It just allows us to grow at a rapid pace, take on a lot of new accounts.
Converting customers to digital, converting them to sustainable, HP and Indigo Electro Inks all play a part of that, getting us closer to where we can say, hey, this is truly a compostable pouch. In HP PAC Ready lamination, you're not dealing with solvents, you're dealing with thermal active films, creating maybe 15% of the waste that would be created on the traditional solvent-based lamination. So the waste, if you compare it to anything else, is tremendously different, and that speaks very loudly for sustainability.
By 2021, 90% of the products we'll produce are going to be truly sustainable options, truly recyclable options, truly compostable options.
But with HP Indigo behind us, we feel we have that much more resources, ability to create the impact that we want to create.
Wow, such an inspiring story. It's always great to hear, and I learn new things every time I hear it. I had an opportunity to catch up with Phil just recently to follow up on that video that's about 1.5 years old to see where they stand on their commitments and growing their business. Let's hear that interview.
Good morning. You just watched a great video with Phil St-Cyr from Rootree, and he talked about his business and its impact in the brands he served. Welcome, Phil.
Hey, thank you. Good morning.
Thanks for spending a few minutes to talk with me and kind of share where we've been since we recorded that video in late 2019. Importantly, I think to the audience is a commitment in that video you shared to have 90% of Rootree's volume in a recyclable or compostable substrate package by 2021. Obviously, that was recorded pre-COVID. Can you tell us about the impacts of COVID on your business and maybe how you guys are pivoting to address that commitment?
Yeah, Brent, I think you got the dates wrong. I thought it was 21, so I got about 100 years to go there. No, no, I'm just joking. Yeah, we're well on our way. Obviously, there's some challenges that came this year with being pandemic and the requirement for packaging that can perform under pretty rigorous e-commerce climate and so on. So that actually has given us the fuel we needed in order to launch a brand new version of our compostable web that's more geared towards that environment. We are definitely well on way. I think I can't say exactly where in 2021 exact percentage is going to be, if I'm being totally honest, but it's at the core focus of everything that Rootree does. And we are definitely getting more than 90% in terms of interest and in terms of inquiries from our clients. This is really the place where people want to go. I think the ages of non-responsible packaging are coming to an end fairly shortly. So.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think, it's imperative not only on us in the digital flexible packaging arena, but the entire flexible packaging industry to address this, because we have a good story out there. Flexible packaging is already by its nature the most sustainable form of packaging from a weight perspective, energy use perspective. It's just now on our shoulders and our challenge to take it to the next level and provide, like you said, compostable and recyclable structures. And I think the industry is slowly coming around to that. And I think, our customers, small and medium brands, and even the large brands have laid down the gauntlet that this is where we need to be as an industry.
Yeah, like you said, for Rootree, and we acknowledge that there's many benefits of FlexPack and sustainability, but for us, it's never been good enough just riding on the fringe benefits of the industry, and we really want to develop and bring new solutions to market. And it's not the goal or the endeavor of a single company. This is really a whole industry that has to come together in order to make substantial change, and maybe with a little push from the regulating bodies to have us work in a more sustainable, more forward-thinking way.
I love the fact that your business is built around that forward thinking and drawing the line in the sand and taking the actions needed to meet it and grow in a sustainable way. One thing I wanted to point out is there are a lot of creative agencies and brands in the audience. Maybe you want to speak to them directly about what Rootree does, how they do it, how you guys are different in bringing value to them.
Yeah, Rootree is, a lot of people know us for the digital FlexPack side and the sustainable side. There's a lot to what we do. One is the vertical integration direct to co-packing. That's probably substantially different than a lot of flexible packaging manufacturers. So we are integrated with co-packing for dry, granular food products, mostly in the ingredient and nutraceutical and snack food type of an industry. We do filling for liquids in the cleaning and beauty and the cosmetics industry. We are also vertically integrated with our creative design and team as well. So we are a creative house. We do everything from logo, brand creation, packaging, design, to full out web design and implementation. So there's a lot of that. And then we have the hidden part of Rootree, which is more of the R&D and then what's to come, and trying to find ways to be more sustainable or find ways to fill the gap in practicality of packaging. So technology assisted packaging and so on.
That is very impressive. And to your point, there are not many, if any, aside from Rootree, companies out there that serve the breadth of vertical integration that you guys do. And it always impresses me at the steps you guys take at the end of the day to drive, sustainable growth for your customers, but also doing it in the most time and cost efficient way possible.
Mm-hmm.
So as we wrap up, you've been in this space for a long time. I consider you and the industry considers you a pioneer. After we get through COVID and this kind of bump in the road, what do you think the future holds for digital flexible packaging and companies like Rootree who've, put a stake in the ground in many of the areas to drive things forward?
First, I'm going to address your first comment. I don't know if I'm a pioneer, and I don't know if I've been in this industry too long, because, from what I can tell, it's not too much gray hair in there. Still fairly young.
You thrive, my friend. You thrive on it, and I think every time I see you, your head of hair is fuller. So I think it, you rise to the challenge in many ways.
You know what I'm a pioneer of? I think a pioneer of a good, healthy workplace. The industry is irrelevant. Actually, you know what? I'm going to answer your next question upside down. I think it's good. So you can see there. Let me see if I can see myself. Yeah.
This is awesome. Yeah, you saw in the video that, Phil's workplace has a focus on employee health, and he's we interrupted his morning yoga routine, so he's going to get a little bit in while we finish up.
Yeah, I was just thinking if I answer your questions upside down, it could make it a little more interesting for the guests. So I forget the question now.
The future of digital flexible packaging. What's your insight as a I call you a pioneer, whether you accept that or not, is your purvey, but just your expert opinion.
Yeah, the future of the industry, is going to rely around a lot of technology and being embedded into packaging, how to use packaging as a marketing vehicle, as telling of a story. I think packaging is going to become, in a way, the weight and measure of how brands are seen in the consumer's eyes, pertaining to the choices they make, the circular economy concepts of how they choose the packaging and the story around it. You know, the challenge is that you have the clientele becoming super educated, not just in branding and how to bring their products to market, but they're super educated in the sustainable factor. And that is that double-edged sword that says that even when we push the envelope and we say, hey, you know what, this is compostable and this is this and this is that, and we're so proud of it, and they come up to us and they say, well, okay, but you know what, you're at 40% renewable content, like why don't you make it 50%? Like, what's the big deal? So it's good. We learn a lot from the clients. I think the industry as a whole, and I keep saying it, I think sustainability it has to blend in. You know, it's just like you should not have the choice of one versus the other, of a good packaging versus a bad packaging, and that decision right now is the onus of the brand and the budget they've assigned to the packaging and so on. But I believe that in the future that choice is not going to be given in that way. Yeah, you can choose your colors and the way that you brand yourself, but you're not going to be able to choose whether you can hurt the environment or you cannot hurt the environment. And we look forward to a lot more policies being implemented and to change with the market, similar to what happened to the single-use plastics. We see a lot of R&D going and the recycling industry getting a bit of a reform. Being able to standardize what gets recycled, what does not get recycled. So even in Canada, you know, it's all over the place across the country. I think that reform and that standardization as it comes to recycling is a big thing. I think the education and how to identify packages that are compostable so that they can plug into the municipalities' composting initiatives and programs is going to be taking place. And really, I think that regulating bodies, governments have to crack down on us as an industry, because without that, there's just not enough push. There's too much people in the industry just very comfortable in that, you know, repeatable business with materials that have been made that way for 50 years, and it's just too easy. So I'm looking forward to a lot of disruption, and I think that's going to be the first thing that comes forward. And then, you know, with technology, with RFID, with track and trace, with all of these things coming into packaging, with certain security models, that's kind of where I see packaging. So I think I said a lot without saying too much, but
I love it. And I think, you know, part of the mantra we have at HP is reinvention. And I think you hit the nail on the head. The future is going to be a time of disruption and reinvention, and that's going to, you know, drive things forward for brands like Rootree that have built this totally vertically integrated ecosystem to serve your customers, and brands like HP that you know, help you do what you do every day. So I think I took from your summary, it's going to be a disruptive future. It's going to be a fun ride with a lot of challenges, but the industry is going to grow as a result of it.
Yeah, for sure. And I think as it translates to even the other part of what we do into the co-packing, I find that the co-packing, the whole machinery part of the co-packing side is going to grow a lot, right? Again, people are comfortable packing rigid containers at, you know, 200-300 pieces a minute with labels, with coding, with this and that, and that's fine for the big CPGs. That doesn't work for small brands that want to do some innovative things, which requires a lot of then manual labor for custom packing, custom applications. But I think that there's a lot that needs to be done on the co-packing side so as to be able to more effectively handle flexible films for short runs. So I do see that coming along. And then even pouching itself, you know, pouching, there's a few companies making pouch converting equipment, and HP is part of that supply chain, is really forward thinking, but we lack leaders like HP in some of the other processes of what takes place in manufacturing, because I just see it as this kind of a dinosaur, is a little too slow, too much human interaction, not enough technology, not enough forward thinking happening. So I look forward to that being changed a lot, all in the hopes that we can service our customers a little better, a little faster, with a little more flexibility.
I love that sentiment. Any parting words for the audience?
Guys, you should be very healthy. This is the pandemic. You should stay home, be safe, and have at the core focus is health and wellness and family. I think that this is what this year has taught us. So a lot of thankfulness. Thank you for the support from HP and from others involved. And Rootree is always going to be there to continue leading the small aspect of flexible packaging that we do. So.
All right, Phil. Well, thank you for your time today.
All right, Brent, you take care.